that were put out by Nike/Fanatics. Those are kind of fire. If you haven't seen them, take a look at them. They're very classically done. It looks almost like it almost looks like a throwback to the Negro League type uniforms, like the Kansas City Monarchs. They're very tasteful, and I dig them.
I'm looking at the picture of them right now, and they actually look really clean.
Trying to get a decent.
I mean, I would never buy one.
There we go.
Just because it's New York, I have to maintain an air of consistency. I mean, it's to the point where it's like there's only two Yankees that I've ever respected, and that's Mariano Rivera and Derek Jeter, right?
They actually look pretty good.
But I would never buy their jerseys to add them to my collection.
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, even if the captain himself came up and said, "Hey, let me autograph that jersey for you," I'd be like, due to the constraints of my religious belief.
So you think that if Jeter came up to you with the jersey and like, "Hey, let me go ahead and give you this jersey. Let me autograph that for you, Johnny."
My wife and I are planning at some point in the future a trip to New York City just to catch the sights, see all the historical places like that, right? I mean, you would think that going to Ground Zero would be on like the top of the bucket list, right? Go to Ellis Island, climb Lady Liberty and that kind of deal. No. My number one goal when I go to New York City is to travel to the Bronx and take a piss on the side of Yankee Stadium.
Hey, if you're gonna dream big.
So if you get a mysterious text message from my wife at any point in the future and saying that we're in New York, understand that the words "he needs bail money" is going to follow shortly after.
Not really though, because like
let me save up
that right in with all the homeless people and everything. They're going to be pissing all over it anyways,
right? Because if the cops are looking, I can just say "no habla español,"
right?
No
yes, or look homeless,
right? Which you kind of you're halfway there anyways.
Yeah.
Your hair a little. That's about it,
right?
Yeah, I mean, just
like
kind of
homeless starter kit.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Start talking about Garbage Pail Kid stickers, and then they're going to think that, oh my god. Hell yeah! Look at you. All right, so
we need to put that. We need to put that on the website. We need to put that on the website. Fun for Johnny's trip.
Bail money.
Before you go to New York, so we can collect bail money and props. And if you don't need the bail money, we give it to a charity organization after that.
See, here's my thing. And this is something that we would have to have the governor, of Texas come up on the show for. Because how if you come up on any criminal charges, you have to surrender your LTC for a period of 5 years, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if because it's Yankee Stadium and it occurred in the city of New York, if Greg Abbott would give me an exception.
It's a ticket. You would be getting a ticket. That's really all.
We'll make Texas a non-extradition.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There's no extradition treaty with New York.
Yeah.
We'll just
all right.
so
the Astros finally have something to celebrate. They went down to Mexico City for their Mexico City series. It's part of the whole international initiative that Robert Manclown, the commissioner of baseball, is kind of throwing out there. It started off with going to play in London, and then we did a Japan series. The Dodgers and Padres started in Seoul, Korea this season. But
I'm really glad they're doing that instead of, I don't know, taking care of the umpire problem.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Priority. Priority.
Exactly. They're getting
actually doing the due process of investigating Shohei Ohtani.
Right.
Yeah. That too.
Yeah.
Child never.
His jerseys are selling out, so he gets a pass.
I go through my TikTok pages and everything, or my Twitter feed and everything, and all of it is just about the umpire. Not about the games most of the time. It's mostly about the umpires.
Mm-hmm.
That's how bad it is.
To talk about it anymore.
Yeah. You can't even talk. I was like, oh, so and so had a good game this weekend. He He basically did like 4 home runs. It was freaking awesome. But no. What do we got?
No, now it makes the move. It makes the news if they're at above an 80% accuracy rate for their calls. They're like, wow, they really called a good game. It's like, really?
Yeah.
It's just lowering the bar on our half and allowing it to be.
For an umpire, it just put this into perspective. A pitcher to get credited with a perfect game, he has to record 27 outs consecutively without allowing a single base runner, right? Mm-hmm. That's no hit by pitches. That's no walks. That's all recorded outs.
Right.
In order for an umpire to be credited with calling a perfect game, he only has to hit the 99th percentile on his accuracy.
Wow.
I mean, you could almost say it's close enough for government work. Could we even make the argument that the Major League Baseball umpires this season are all military grade?
Yes. Absolutely can make that argument.
Yeah.
Well, getting back to the Astros, they finally did something positive and constructive for their fan base this season, this early on in the season. They swept the Colorado Rockies in the Mexico City series. Breathe.
I don't know.
I know she's not trying to be all dominant in the chat. I mean,
okay.
She's all been MIA. She knows her place.
I'm doing like other things while I'm doing the I'm actually looking at other sports news just in case we want to cover something where we have dead air. So
with dead air, you mean like last week whenever everybody fucking left the room on me?
God, yes, basically.
And I'm sitting there,
dude. I cut like 40 minutes off the fucking show.
I'm sitting there, and what was I discussing? I was discussing my take on the Civil War movie, right? And Chris is like, I've got to take this, and then he like jets out for a couple of minutes on the phone. I'm sitting there going, well, I don't know what to do with my hands, you know. It's like, holy shit. Okay. And in the land of Baltimore, Charm City, the Orioles fan base, they got a glimpse of the future and then realized they're all fucked because Jackson Holliday was called up with all this great fanfare. He's the #1 prospect in all of baseball.
Shut up, Meg.
He just got sent back down to AAA because he recorded one hit. He went 1-42 in his major league debut.
Sweet baby Jesus, how do you?
Oh,
I mean,
what was that, Max?
I said, why did he get called up in the first place? What they see him?
Yeah. Well, that happens a lot with baseball.
Well, you know, it's kind of like the Democrats whenever they, they elected Barack Obama. He was the great white hope. I'm just kind of, I don't know.
Everybody wanted to give him a chance. Everybody here in the United States back then, when that election was going on, we just got done with Bush Part 2, which wasn't great.
Much like anything else in today's society, you can't talk bad about a certain person, otherwise you're going to be racist.
Mm-hmm. Well, this might be true. Maria. If that's the reasoning of people, then yes, we can talk about other races. That's okay. And we could say what we think about other races. That's okay, too. It's when we start doing things that would be considered anybody knows that a hard N is probably not going to be very popular with certain groups. So everyone knows, don't do it. Now, does that mean that we can't talk about other races or we can't say bad things about other races using the same terminology that they would use against each other?
Right.
So
yeah, no, it's a whole thing. All right. So one last thing on baseball. The Tampa Bay Rays unveiled their City Connect uniforms, and I'm gonna read this here. It is by Adam Berry at Adam D Berry at MLB.com. St. Petersburg, on and off the field, the Rays dare to be different. They have become the modern example of small market success by creatively defying conventional thinking, boldly going against the grain, and unapologetically embracing what makes them unique. The video that's playing when you click on the article is, I mean, these are straight up like, they look like they came out of a skate park. Somebody tagged tagged the side of a building with some spray paint.
There's the shirt.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you're seeing the same thing I am. I thought it was a mistake. No.
I'm kind of sitting there going, huh, okay. Okay, cool. Now.
All right, ish. I'm trying to give them credit because of the fire. That's about it.
At least they're not like atrocious and screams, somebody stole my hot pink marker highlighter set like the San Diego Padres City Connect uniforms do.
Yeah.
I mean, when San Diego announced their City Connect uniforms, I was thinking more along the lines of like, shouldn't that be Miami? Because I mean, it just screams Miami Vice. I mean, like Don Johnson should have been like put on the white suit, no socks in the penny loafers, and throwing out the first pitch.
I can see that. It does have that 80s day glow feel to it.
It does. I'm just like, holy crap, dude. Anyways, all right. So
Let's see if I can get
now.
There. I like.
Go ahead, David.
Here's the Rangers one, since we actually have a Rangers fan.
Oh, no, the Rangers City Connect uniform came out last year.
Oh, that's what it was.
Okay, so that has got a lot to do with the Hispanic culture in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and the Mexican beer leagues that they've got set up all over the DFW area.
Yep.
And that's not in any way, shape, form, or fashion meant to sound remotely racist or racially driven. That
sounded racist as hell, man. What are you talking about? You said Mexican.
Yeah, how dare you? Can't believe that.
You're right. I forgot the proper nomenclature is Mexican American.
No, it's Latinx.
Mexican Americans.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't like knife fights, and we like little eggers, and they Debbie too. Yeah, no, I get it. Ah, crap. We're gonna get tagged. You're gonna get that no email.
Watched your show the other night. Thought that was pretty funny, did you?
Tisk.
Bunch of smart motherfuckers on that show, huh? How smart are you now?
Uh-huh. We got a little something for you.
Okay, so David, that comment popped up on the screen 4 minutes ago. 4 minutes ago, and you're just now highlighting it. Fucking the sparest of parts.
I was looking at the City freaking Connect shirt. I was trying to do my job.
Fucking
there's okay. There's two people that can do both.
Mm-hmm.
You can do like the messages and everything while I look up stuff on the internet and actually put.
All right, fine. All right, bet. All right, I got you. No, hey, Roger that. You go on with your bad self.
Together?
Hey, move on with a heart on. Carry on with your aerosol mission, son.
Including nerd sports, including all the stuff that we've done.
Draw fire, high crawl, low crawl, 3 to 5 second rush. I'm up. He sees me. I'm down.
Jesus.
Drink water, you.
Sweet baby Jesus.
I love it when mom and dad fight.
9 pounds, 7
Shut up, Chris.
All right. So apparently there was a big thing going on up in Detroit this weekend called the NFL Draft. There was a new number one. There was a new Mr. Irrelevant. And our illustrious guest with the green background trying to make us all look bad is here to tell us all about it. Take it away, sir.
I hear the Falcons had a great day.
Okay. Before we go in, the Falcons did.
I was drinking. Fuck you.
The Falcons did make better choice. I had to go through deep into the interwebs for this to find it, and it's.
I'm sorry, Dave.
Good choice.
I have to dispel this rumor that you
50th pick.
The Atlanta Falcons select Georgia Trooper.
Well, the Falcons go off the board.
Oh, hell yes.
Okay. I was going to say that
Let's listen in as the chairman. Just carry him off the field.
that dude, that
Fantastic.
that scream,
Absolutely
that yell, that oh my god, that's been living rent free in my head all day.
That's
Dude, the whole entire weekend.
But I need to
like,
put out a disclaimer for our listening audience. When David said that he went deep, that is the only time in his life he's ever been able to say that.
well,
is it considered deep if you go twice?
Just let
Is
this
it
be fun
considered-
for me.
Just let me enjoy myself on every. God's sakes, man, please.
No, we don't do that here.
Not on this show. You come to the wrong show, boy. What? No.
There you go.
Brian.
Get down in there deep, boy.
Real deep. I like those wheels clean.
Real deep, like.
Smell like a stuffed pig. Sweet, motherfucker. Sweet.
Wait a minute. Hold on. What's that word that he used a minute ago, Chris?
Bird. The birds are white.
Birds word.
There we go. Okay. Now with with that delayed fanfare.
I'm sorry. We're all children here, man. I'm sorry.
Nothing to apologize about. What are you talking? We're all children. We're just hairy children. Look at us. I got this. Dave's got that. Chris is over here. And Chris,
There's a reason why we all have
senior child with them.
various degrees of facial / body hair, and that's just to keep Joe Biden from sniffing us.
And it's working. He hasn't come anywhere near me in like 3 months. So
It's at least 3 months.
I haven't seen that son of a bitch come out of his cave in I don't know how long. He came out the other day and said, "I'll debate Trump," then left. What the fuck?
And then everybody behind him was like, no,
he's not doing it. He was just joking. We're
Don't
just going to
forget
have an AI debate.
Don't forget the pause.
Oh fuck! It's a sad, sad day when we're not sure whether or not a sitting president is able to have a debate. That's a problem.
I'm not sure whether or not the sitting president can keep from soiling himself while he signs all these executive orders.
They're like, he didn't say debate. He said pieces of 8.
It might have been that actually.
Yeah.
Like 2 circles, one big, one little. Just kind of...
Right.
or he was asking when they were going to bring him his pieces of cake.
Yeah, that is also
He
true.
does like sweets.
He likes the ice cream too. You got to make sure there's the ice
A lot of ice cream in that man's freezer right now.
cream.
He might be in his freezer right now.
All vanilla. Just ask his wife.
Mm. Jill, is that true? And if she's not watching, she should be. We might be able to help you with this whole Biden situation you got, Jill.
Right.
I mean, honestly, how much time does this guy fucking have left? I mean, not before he's out of office, before he's like, deleted. He's
Well,
made
his
longer than
president
any other Catholic in office, so I mean, nice job to him. Every Kennedy's pissed off right now.
Right?
Kennedy's
president-
mad as hell.
He counts as an infestation, right? We could call that.
Yeah, I mean, you got him and you got RFK.
Oh God.
14 years of heroin doesn't sound like a good idea. Come on, live a little.
Where's your sense of adventure?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We need to throw these guys on the field.
Well, the
and let
sense
them
of
play a little
adventure
bit.
in that unsecured file cabinet parked next to the Corvette in the garage.
Yeah.
It wasn't even
You guys-
where they were just boxes.
You guys had some action down there with some exotic cars on the Dallas-Fort Worth area, 2 weeks ago, with Lamborghinis and Corvettes from Kansas City crashing all over the place. Compliments of Mr. Rashi Rice.
Yep, that's right. I knew exactly where he was going because I was like, wait a minute. It's like that every day on 45 in Houston, but no, you specifically said Dallas-Fort Worth, so yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a lot of traffic. If nobody's ever been out to the Dallas-Fort Worth area or traveled anywhere in Tejas, everything's bigger. There's a lot of traffic. It's 90 miles, 100 miles an hour, bumper to bumper, no accidents. And if there is an accident, generally what happens is everybody flies the fuck by you. But people still stop and attend to those that need any assistance, medical aid, check how they're doing, make sure they're okay. And then there's Rasheed Rice. Fucking wrecks his cars, leaves the scene, doesn't bother to check anybody, and then wonders why there's an arrest warrant out for him and why that doesn't look good for him.
Nope.
Hey, I don't know. I don't want him on my team. I'll tell you that right now. Any more than I wanted Kareem Hunt for beating up women or Von Miller for Buffalo with his domestic dispute in Texas that he had a warrant out for his arrest while he was playing the fucking Chiefs on fucking Sunday. I couldn't believe that shit. Yeah, it's crazy. If I had a warrant out for my arrest right now, I promise you they'd be here getting me. I guarantee you. They wouldn't give me the Von Miller, Rasheed Rice, any of that shit. Special treatment.
Well, I'm going to attempt to segue so we can get the draft stuff going, but I'm going to segue this by talking about how an alert came across my phone today that Zeke Elliott and the Dallas Cowboys have agreed to terms for a reunion next year, just pending a physical. I don't know. What's your take on that?
How much?
They didn't discuss any numbers yet. Once the physical goes through, and then I guess they're going to release the numbers, but I see maybe a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
I mean, especially with the production that he had last year in New England.
Trash.
I mean,
Tony
Pollard. I mean, where I can't remember where Tony Pollard signed. I think he went to
Tennessee.
Yeah, he went to Tennessee. He took Derrick Henry's place, and then of course Derrick Henry does what every other Tennessee Titan does, and they go to Baltimore. But so look, for those of you in Cowboys Nation, you can pull your Zeke Elliott jerseys out of the closet and dust them off, throw them in the washing machine, and be proud to wear them again on game day next year. So there you go.
I don't know if that's the word I'd use.
Hey, I mean, as long as he can score touchdowns, nobody cares.
Yeah.
He's still got enough left in the tank to where another year, maybe even 2 years, he's got it. But that running back position in general in the NFL, that's the one that got the shortest lifespan.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see people emulating Barry Sanders, and not in a good way. We're talking about cutting their career short. You're never ever going to see people like Ronnie Lott or Emmitt Smith or Ronnie Allstott playing that position the way that it's supposed to be played ever again.
Nope.
It's all about speed now. It's all about speed. And these guys trying to make these cutbacks, you're just blowing tendons left and right.
Now I want to see if there's a bet going on in the Vegas area, so we can put $10 on it or something like that, and see if he's going to do the same thing as Aaron Rodgers did last year.
Make 4 plays and then season's over.
Yes.
Not even a chance to throw the ball. Awful.
Oh, are you talking about Dak?
No, I'm talking about Elliott.
Are you just
no?
Oh, Elliott. Okay, all right. I was gonna say, I'm like, I could see that happening, right? You could see it in slow motion, but he's gonna do like Aaron Rodgers 2.0. He's gonna push off to close off a passing lane, and you're gonna see both of his calves get real small really quick. And then he's just gonna fall flat on his face.
I think the Cowboys, with Dak being their quarterback, I think Dak will get you to the water, but he won't let you drink. It just seems
every quarterback from Cowboys, from Romo to here. They get you to it's like, hey, look, but you can't drink the water. Is it poison or something? Nope. Just
great water.
There's literally nothing wrong with it, but no, you can't touch.
Yeah.
No water for you. But it's right there. Thirsty as hell. We've been fucking playing.
with the okay, so I mean, with the exception, actually, no. Oof. I mean, quite honestly, the last
Troy Aikman was the
great,
last good, great
well,
Cowboy.
and here's the thing. Yeah, the quarterbacks need to be able to be able to go through their check downs, and they need to be able to make good, accurate passes. Romo and Prescott both proved that they were capable of doing that. They just can't do it on the run.
Romo can't do it in December. That's the problem.
Well, that's because he was constantly trying to get ready for, the Invitational to qualify for the U.S. Open.
Okay, yeah. Totally understand
That's fair.
He's a gentleman, don't forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very distinguished.
Yeah.
Thinking Christmas presents, Christmas time, and everything like that. He's probably a big Christmas guy. That's probably what happened.
And plus his wife's giving him a bunch of shit because she's like, she used to be a sportscaster. She was a news personality in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, which is how they met. And she just kept telling him closer to December, she's like, look, I'm really tired of having to answer questions about you on the air. So just fucking don't play next week.
Wouldn't that actually give up more questions, though?
I actually see this scene playing out in their house, like the scene between Margot Robbie and Leonardo DiCaprio in The Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, that was great.
She's like, you're not going to get to see the pussy if you make the next round of the playoffs. And he was thinking about that day in Seattle where the ball hits him in the hands for the game-winning field goal.
God, don't remind me.
In his defense, though, being the starting quarterback, somebody else probably should have had the responsibility of being the fucking holder. I'm just saying.
And that question never got brought up. Ever. Like, why were you the one placeholding?
Like, what's he going out in the field again?
At the time, that's supposed to be the punter's job, or at least the backup quarterback.
Yeah,
that's usually the way you see it. I mean, the punter's holding, kicker's kicking, everybody's happy. You got a long snapper. It's not like you're calling the fucking wide receiver to snap the ball for you, are you? No, you got a long snapper that does that shit. That's all he does. He long snaps. That's his job. He's a long snapper. Yep. Then you got the fucking quarterback holding the fucking ball. No, mistake. Otherwise, you probably would have moved on that season. You definitely would have moved on that season.
Without
it, you wouldn't have not moved down that season. Oh, it's not easy to be a Cowboys fan, but
the whole way and won it all, wasn't it? That was the season Seattle won it all, wasn't it?
That Seattle did.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
I think so.
That was Pittsburgh in 2004 that ended up playing Seattle and beating them when home.
That's right. See,
a little bit of a controversial game.
Yeah, because I remember the year that Seattle actually won. My daughter, she's listening. She's going to be so mad. I created a meme, and it was a picture of Kurt Cobain during the Unplugged on MTV set. And it said, winning the Super Bowl won't bring me back.
So fucked up. And were you wrong?
Nope, I was not wrong.
Right then. You can be bad all you want.
I would have to do a deep dive into my Facebook archives to find that meme. But yeah, dude, I caught so much hell from so many different people when I posted that. I was loving life.
Worth it. Absolutely worth it.
Stirring the pot. That's how you do it.
So the draft.
The draft. Let's do this.
The draft.
Oh, the only one, the number one draft pick. I just, the Bears probably just dropped the ball on that one.
No, they drafted exactly who they said they wanted to draft. Everybody,
we knew who was going to draft 2 or 3 months ago. It was just.
Here's the thing. He's not the one. He is not him.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Not even close. And what gets me is they kept hyping this guy up all season long, which is fine. They did it when he was in Oklahoma before he transferred to USC. But what nobody seems to want to look at and acknowledge is the fact that when he plays, there is no glimmer of any kind of greatness that has been seen by at least me. I watch football, college, I watch high school, pro, whatever. But when everybody's trying to tell me that this guy is the next Patrick Mahomes and he's going to be off the charts, unhinged with his talent, nobody's ever seen anything like this before. I'm looking at him. I have yet to see anything like that whatsoever. I've seen him cry to his mama. I've seen him paint his nails. I've even seen him wear a fucking dress like a woman.
Yeah.
All things that I don't want in a quarterback or anybody on my football team.
Right. The only thing that Caleb Williams has in common with Patrick Mahomes is that they both came from a system quarterback school.
True. The only other thing that Caleb's got going against him coming out of USC is that no USC quarterback has ever won a Super Bowl.
We're looking at you, Leonard.
We can Sanchez, the best quarterback USC had in recent years. I'm going to say probably Carson Palmer. And even then, he wasn't able to do anything. So I don't know what this fascination with USC quarterbacks and Caleb Williams is, but they're going to be in for a rude awakening in Chicago when that season starts and he's not able to do a fucking thing other than look like shit and paint his nails.
The last great quarterback that came out of that area was UCLA, and he went by the name of Troy Aikman.
Yep. I was going to say, same thing, 89. Aikman was the man. He didn't have a good first season, but 3 Super Bowls later.
Yeah.
And he's just as relevant today as he is.
A golden jacket later, yeah.
Yeah. And he's still out there, relevant, very knowledgeable about the game, about the sport, knows what he's talking about. And he can, certain things he can and can't say or won't say, whatever. But I guarantee you that if you ask him his opinion on Caleb Williams, it's not going to be he's the one. He's the guy they should have got.
Yeah.
And in this draft in particular, first round, we saw 6 quarterbacks go. Then from rounds 2 to 5, nobody. And then Spencer Rattler.
Yeah. And in fact, the first defensive player didn't even get picked till like number 15.
No, I'm sorry. The Chargers, Los Angeles, they took Joe Alt with the 5th pick, if I'm not mistaken.
Was it the 5th pick?
If I'm not mistaken, let me see. Drake May. Then they got
Fitzgerald.
Yeah, number 5. They got Joe Alt because Marvin Harrison went to the Cardinals at number 4, and then New England, Drake May.
Well, no, I'm talking about defense. Like nobody defensive got drafted until let me see here.
Georgia State Trooper.
Yeah, pick number 15. Leto, edge rusher from UCLA, went to Indianapolis. Yeah. So I mean, everybody's all trying to stack up on offense for next season, and I'm just kind of sitting there going, where are these dudes going to play? Because the teams that are drafting them, they're all making these big offseason moves, trying to sign all these free agents that are just leaving teams left and right. I'm just kind of going, Bo Nix, his career is fucked because I think that Denver is going to become the next Cleveland.
It's dysfunctional. It's just dysfunctional as hell. I don't know how else to say it. They got a good coach. They've got a good coach. Coach is good. Solid coach. Ownership group, general manager, and everybody else other than the coach and his staff, shit. It's kind of like what Sean Payton said in one of his press conferences. What do you mean do? Get a whole new offensive line and build around that? I can't work with this shit. So
yeah, I don't know. But I was reading today that let me see here. Like on day 1, Chad Reuter from NFL.com, He gave the Arizona Cardinals an A- on their first round, or on their day one picks. Because I mean, obviously they picked Marvin Harrison Jr. going, number 4 overall. Darius Robinson going number 27, defensive tackle from Missouri. I mean, these are solid picks, and then they picked up Christian Jones, the offensive tackle from Texas, at pick 162. I'm just like, dude, that far down, I'm just kind of sitting there going, wow, that's pretty damn good, So it's one of those. I don't really care so much about the first couple of rounds. It's the last day, the closer we get to the Mr. Irrelevant pick, where you just kind of look like who's going to be the next Tom Brady kind of a thing, and who's going to be, because if I remember right, like Emmitt Smith didn't get drafted real high either.
No,
he was. I want to say it was 4th, but don't hold me to that. But I'll see.
I said if I remember correctly, which 9 times out of 10 I don't.
Most of the top draftees don't matter for anything. I was like, everybody's like going off was like, oh, the number 1 draft pick is going to be this. The only reason why you are really happy about the number 1 draft pick because you're wondering how much of that bonus they're going to get. That's it for all newscasters and everything.
Well,
that's all.
Here's the thing, David. The first round picks are guaranteed a spot on the team.
Yeah.
Okay. Rounds 2, 3, all the other ensuing rounds, they still have to make cuts. They gotta work their way through the preseason, through OTAs. They have to try to get through the entire preseason to make that opening, that opening weekend roster. And there's a lot of them that don't. They either leave football and try to go back to school to finish up their degrees, or they sign to practice squads, or now they try to get a job with the UFL, or what is it, the
XFL.
CFL too. Well,
XFL
not
CFL.
Yeah, the XFL and the USFL, they combined. It's the UFL now. So
UFL, right.
yeah. So, but
okay, look at Tom Brady. We're gonna beat this to the death because he's like Michael Jordan. He's a GOAT.
Before we get to Tom Brady, though, can I touch on one quick thing for Johnny?
Yeah.
17th overall on Emmitt Smith.
Okay. I was trying to think. What was it?
I thought it was 14th, 17th. I didn't think he out of Florida. I remember when he got drafted. I didn't think it was.
I knew it was first round, but I didn't think he was that
17th.
like he fell because like he was projected, if I remember, like
Top
there was
5.
a lot of talk about him. Like he was projected to go like top 5, top 6, and he fell, and everybody was like, "Whoa!" And then he just, of course, he played his career the right way.
Yep.
And now we're talking about Emmitt Smith being the all-time leading rusher in NFL history. So
yeah,
And
which
no
I
one's
think
getting
that
too many
record's going to stand for a while. That record's going to stand for a long time, especially with the way that the game's played these days.
True.
Yeah. Well, like I said, Tom Brady wasn't Tom Brady. He literally says in any kind of interview he does, all the stuff that he does, he literally says, I worked my ass off to get to the point to where I needed to be.
And Tom Brady established early on in his rookie season. I mean, it was during OTAs. He told Robert Kraft, he goes, I'm gonna be the best decision that you ever made on draft day.
Facts.
And he played with the same set of shoulder pads. I mean, obviously padding got changed out or whatever, but it was the same set of shoulder pads that he played with all the way through all through Michigan, all the way through till the day he retired from the NFL the second time. Same set of shoulder pads. So it's like, damn, son. I mean, you get a high caliber athlete like that, they get stuck in their ways and they find something that works for them. Nope, you're not taking my damn pad. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't care what the commissioner says. So, what's your take on the Guardian helmets being approved for regular season games?
Other than the fact that it looks silly, I don't think it's a product that should be put on the field come Sunday. Practice time, practice days, great.
I don't think it's going to help either or.
I don't see what the benefit of it is. You're just, if you're going to get hurt, you're going to get hurt.
Yeah,
Well, no.
I mean, because it doesn't matter the amount of padding that you put around the skull. I mean, it's what's inside the skull that shifts around. So, I mean, you could
that's prior military that had to handle explosives. They can tell you the same thing. You could be behind a brick wall, and you still get a concussion only because of the force,
the overpressure.
Yeah, the overpressure.
So it's. I think that you're going to see very few of them because I think that there's going to be a culture across the league and amongst every club's locker rooms where the guys that opt to wear those are going to be kind of shamed, like, hey, turn in your man card, kind of a deal. You get a lot of these players that bitch and moan whenever they change a rule about the way you can tackle.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden now you're giving everybody like my pillows to wrap around their helmets. Come on.
Listen, there's gonna be a meme. I guarantee
my pillow guy is gonna
be like, it's just gonna be we need to make this before it goes out. Because all it's gonna be is like anytime that someone tackles with those little extra helmets, the little squeaky toy.
Oh, they make like a noise, like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I get it.
Or like when you watch midget slap fighting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Chew toy.
Talk about serious sports. Now we're talking. Fuck this NFL, NBA shit. Now, you know what it is? I think that if they didn't change the rules when it comes to the kickoff, where the majority of injuries come because you've got two forces colliding at full speed coming at each other, I think if they didn't implement the new rules and how the kickoff is done, that would have been a good opportunity, since we know the majority of injuries are going to happen during that portion of the game in that kickoff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, put some fucking silly fucking piece of cotton on your head all day long. But otherwise, you're going to look like you're just wearing a big-ass hat.
Yeah,
it's just not right. But I see where the NFL is coming from. I think that at this point in time, everybody realizes it. It's a full contact sport. It's dangerous. You can get hurt. You can get killed. Hell, you could die in the field and get resurrected, come back, and not be playoff or the comeback player of the year.
Yeah, that's not wrong.
Yeah, no, they reserve that for the guys that get pulled out of the old folks' homes.
Yeah. But honestly,
I mean, Joe Flacco, I mean, good Lord. He gets pulled off of his rocking chair or his power recliner in front of his big screen TV to go play football for the Browns. And he's like, I'm just here to help, right? I just want to play. He does what he does in Cleveland. And then where did he sign? He signed somewhere else.
He was with the Jets, and then the Jets ended up cutting him. Before that, he was with the Broncos for a short stint.
Right. No, but during this offseason, he signed a new contract to play somewhere else.
Oh, Flacco did?
Yeah. Because I was like, this dude he's getting some mileage out of those cleats. I'm just kind of putting that out there. I'm like, good dude, he's one bad snap away from looking like Joe Theismann getting carted off the field with a bad leg, I mean,
or split in half like in basketball.
You're one snap away from doing like, are you diversifying your folder by buying silver commercials?
Yeah.
I give him credit for this. He did make a signing in the offseason, which I'd forgotten about completely, and he's going to be backing up Anthony Richardson in Indianapolis.
Okay.
With Gardner Minshew getting sent over to Las Vegas with the Raiders, Flacco, I think he's got enough left in the tank, or at least up top, to where he'd be able to mentor and help develop young Anthony Richardson to where it could be definitely beneficial in his tutelage, if you want to call it that.
But Carolina, they they managed to. Carolina had a decent draft this year.
I think
And,
Tepper stayed out of it to a point, which is why they might have had a better draft.
yeah. Let me see here. Of course, they're giving Chicago an A for their draft, but I'm like, nobody. I'm taking Caleb Williams out of the equation there. It's just because I don't think that people understand that he's going to fall flat on his face, because it doesn't matter what your pro day stats look like. If you don't have an offensive line that can block for you, you're going to spend a lot of time on your ass.
Yep.
I mean, just I mean,
Going from college and the speed of play in college, you've got 5 seconds. NFL, you don't even have 3 seconds.
no,
You've got to be able to read that defense, find out where your Mike, Sam, and Will are, read that secondary, and be able to put all this together in a split second, and then get that ball and get it the fuck out of your hands before you get killed. I don't see him doing it. I just don't see him having that. That intangible does not exist in his resume. And honestly, every quarterback in this draft, I think, is so overrated that you've either got quarterbacks that are like, 6-year seniors coming out of the draft. Overrated. You got guys with injuries that have lingered throughout their career, even in college.
Looking here, welcome to a
Holy
Fallout
crap,
4
hold on a
pro
second.
tip video.
My freaking computer's wigging out on me. Sorry, guys.
I was like thinking that was me. I was hearing it in the background. I was like,
I thought I was having a stroke again, so no, it's all good. It's all good.
I'm like, I hit refresh on it, and then all of a sudden I'm like, why is my YouTube coming up? And then I'm like trying to pause the video, and it keeps skipping to the next one. I'm like, shut up. Oh my God.
What the hell, Hank?
Damn it, Bobby.
We're not there yet.
You really are your father's children.
yeah.
All right, yeah. So, but it's I don't know. I mean, you want to ask somebody about the difference between college speed and NFL speed. Go ask Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
It's Lord. Did you see where he came out? He was talking to Shannon Sharp about how his dad went to the boosters his sophomore year and was like, we need $3 million to stay.
What?
What?
This was before the NIL. This was before the NIL rules where college players were getting compensation, right?
Yeah.
Because NIL took over or started in 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, college athletes started earning a living playing sports, right? For their respective schools. That rule wasn't around when Johnny Manziel was deciding whether or not to declare eligible for the draft. But I mean, because everybody in the world knows that the A&M Booster Club, they got money for days, right? I mean, they got money for days. Hey guys, look at the viewer count. That's a first.
Yay, we went to double digits.
We went to double digits. Yeah.
I don't know what you're seeing. Where are you seeing this? Tell me where you're seeing this.
It's
How many viewers
right where it says live. There's a eyeball.
No eyeball here.
That's true.
Oh,
You got an eyeball, Chris?
Oh
Me
no,
and Chris don't have eyeballs.
David and I are on the admin.
You got to tell us if we're in double digits and how many digits we're at.
yeah, we're on the ad.
We're logged in as admin. Yeah, we're admins. Yeah. So
I'm not special.
Fancy guys. I like it.
yeah. Well, when David's not here, I have to run the ship, and it usually.
You're not, all right. So you guys. So this is my first time here, and I didn't say this in the beginning. Thank you very much for having me here. By the way, I really appreciate it. I'm very grateful. I had a great time with Dave the first time we had a show together, and then we kind of got to talk. And the first time that he also does sports and nerd sports, and then a few weeks later, Dave reached back out to me. I'm like, sweet, this is awesome. I love it. Let's do it.
That's almost word for word how I got started here.
Yeah,
Really?
Pretty much.
I mean, we knew each other beforehand, also, but then we did. I think we did a what the hell, and from there,
that's how I started. It was a what the hell, and it was like it was 2 episodes that he had to break up into 2 2-hour episodes because we sat there and talked for like 4 hours.
Yeah,
and then I was like, that was fun. I want to do that again. He goes, okay, and then we just started doing them, and I was like, hey, I want to do a sports show. He goes, yeah, let's do that. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
You know, you look at the YouTube and people search for, people look and love to look at sports. YouTube is the way of the future. You look at all these guys like Stephen A., Will Bond, any of these guys that are on the mainstream media, ESPN, they're all transitioning over here to this platform, trying to make their presence felt. And at the same time, these were the same guys that were over here making fun of guys like us for being on this platform because we're not qualified to speak on certain topics. Well, now you're in our lane.
Yeah.
So,
because we don't have
the late great Stuart Scott. You guys just sit back, relax, and watch how we're just as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Right?
What were you saying, Chris?
No, I was saying because we don't have the proper opinions.
Yeah, that is true.
We didn't go to journalism school. That's what it is.
Yeah,
that's why we're not in debt either.
I went to journalism school.
Did you?
For a little bit, yeah.
We steal small potatoes.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Everybody, okay, you know how they call everything new and everything? Like not hashtags, but what do they call them? Clickbait stuff. They've been doing that for years. They were called headlines. Now they're called clickbaits. They just changed the terminology because, they want it to be their stuff. I was like, oh, the new clickbait is the new headline. And they tell you, it's like, you got to write a good headline so people would actually read the article. That's it. And everybody's like, oh, we made something new. I'm like, no, you didn't, you fucking idiots.
At that point, we're just talking about semantics.
Exactly.
And finding the best way to market your product and your brand and getting it out there, and then making sure that whoever is watching does the exact same thing and reciprocates that, shares it, etc., talks about it. And then next thing you know, you've got 4 individuals in a room together speaking about sports passionately, who enjoy what they do. We're not getting paid for this. Scott, I mean, anybody, nobody's getting paid, right? We're doing this on our own time for free because we're passionate.
I lose money. I lose a whole lot of money.
Me and you both. But I love it. It doesn't bother me because we enjoy it. If we didn't enjoy it, I don't think we would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So programming note real quick, David. I just sent Colin the link because it's 8:30. So
yeah. What about the since we went beforehand talking about the Falcons pick that was fake, what about the Falcons new pick, the actual pick in the draft? What do you think about that one? I mean, I've heard about dropping the ball, but dropping the ball, then kicking it and letting little dog like run and grab it and scoot it off with it. It's still
Michael Penix Jr. is what, 32 years old? I mean, he's almost as old as Stetson Bennett the fourth was when he got drafted out of Georgia, right? Okay, so they just signed Kirk Cousins to a 4-year, $180 million deal, 100 of which is guaranteed to play now.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Penix Jr. at best is going to be a backup, maybe a third stringer.
And they still got 4 quarterbacks on the roster.
Yeah, I'm sitting there going, what?
Did you see the owner's face when he did that?
Did you see him afterwards when he was in his face?
Yes.
The GM's ass about that.
Dude.
It didn't make any damn sense. It's still, now that you brought it up, I'm like, fuck, that still makes no sense.
It doesn't.
Because Penix would have still been there. He would have been there in the 3rd round. He would have been there in the 4th round. Nobody else was going to take him.
Yeah.
What's really sad about it, in hindsight, is the basic fact that the person they picked up literally has a lot of he's already had like what 4 or 5 surgeries.
Yeah. I mean, he had one good season, and here's the thing, and I know that this has been a recurring theme in all of professional sports, and Scott Boras helped foster this and kind of institutionalized it. But the idea that you have a good off or a good postseason or a good season out of an entire career's worth of sampling does not necessarily mean that you qualify for a double or triple sized price tag. I mean, you look at people like Colin Montgomery, who had a good off season for the Rangers last year and helped them win their first World Series title. He sat around just kicking his feet, waiting on somebody to come meet these numbers that Scott Boras said that he was worth, and he ended up having to sign a 2-year $36 million deal or $38 million deal with the Arizona Diamondbacks, the team that he beat in the World Series. And then immediately after being announced by Arizona, Colin Montgomery announced that he's firing Scott Boras as his agent. So, it's like Michael Penix Jr. had a good season. A good season. That's all. I mean, and most of it wasn't even him.
A good season.
If anything, he had a good playoff run with the Huskies last year.
And he had a hell of a receiver to throw to.
Oh, he did. He had a great receiver to throw to. But when they got to the national championship game against Michigan down here in Houston, he got exposed.
Oh, yeah.
He got exposed big time.
Too slow. Couldn't make the reads. Couldn't finish.
I mean,
he's not the guy.
You sometimes you got to question Harbaugh's, logic, but the defense that he installed up there in Michigan, that was an NFL caliber defense. And I mean, they were throwing all kinds of different looks at him. I mean, there was I think I maybe counted 6 it was like probably closer to 12 defensive plays that resulted in negative yards where Michigan had a spy in the form of a free safety just hanging out. And I mean, it's like when he's trying to make his reads and his checkdowns, he's looking primary, secondary, tertiary. He's looking all the way down to his halfback, and everybody's covered. And so he's looking to maybe dump it off in the middle, just out there in the middle of nowhere. Oh, nope, can't. As soon as he let that ball go, where'd that free safety come from?
Yep.
And I'm just like, how is this guy here? I mean, how is this team here? This is the team that beat Texas? Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a Longhorn fan by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not necessarily more that Washington beat Texas in the Rose Bowl. Was it the Rose Bowl? I think it was the Rose Bowl. No, Michigan played the Rose Bowl. It wasn't necessarily that Washington beat Texas. Texas shot themselves in the foot by penalizing themselves in that game. I mean, Texas had every opportunity to walk away with that game. It could have been embarrassing for Washington, but no. I mean, the college playoff format played out the way that it played out last year for the very last time before they kind of include everybody and give everybody a participation ribbon. But do you guys want to take a break from the NFL real quick? We'll get back to it. We want to jump into Colin's segment real quick.
Go ahead.
Absolutely.
All right. And here we are, rising from the smoke and haze of desolation. It's much too foggy, but it's a Ronin, bent on wrongdoing that which has been said right, but here for your ears and your eyes even to feast upon. I mean, it's somebody's genetic code, but ladies, gentlemen, angry faithful, all ages, it's that time again for joke time with Colin.
I'm never gonna stop smiling at that intro.
That is a good intro.
You better bring some fire this week.
Yeah, I know. I see I have an audience today.
What's up,
Yeah,
Colin? How you
dude.
doing, man?
You
How are you
better
doing?
not. Do not embarrass us in front of company. All right, we have company. You better not embarrass us in front of company.
Hey,
no,
listen.
listen.
These past few weeks, I've brought the heat, and I
You-
continue. I'm going to continue to bring said heat.
This is true. You've been on a fairly good roll lately. I will give you that.
Light this motherfucker up, bro. Let's go.
Why was Helen Keller's belly button red?
God.
Because her boyfriend was also blind and deaf.
Oh,
Well, you don't think Penix is going to do good either, huh?
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
this Penix is going to go someplace that it shouldn't be. Oh, shit.
Ugh.
I wasn't expecting that, bro. What?
It gets worse.
see, we understand the assignment when he comes on, but he still manages.
Oh man.
This is my kid, by the way.
Oh,
So-
no, all right. I saw the skeleton and skeleton, but I couldn't put it together.
Oh,
I thought it was coincidence.
Nope. It is. There's
and we never
genetic-
want to assume people's pronouns or their intelligence levels. So I just felt like I needed to clarify that to leave nothing to the imagination.
And as a public service announcement, on behalf of that, we are dealing with a country that 1 in every 4 people are illiterate. And on top of that, the ones that are literate are at a reading level that of a 6th grader or below. So we are dealing with big dummies.
That makes me feel smart as a grunt all of a sudden because everything in the military is written at an 8th grade reading level.
This is a country where 17% of adults, or 1 in 7, I'm sorry, 1 in 7 adults actually believe that chocolate milk comes from brown cows.
Are you trying to tell me it doesn't?
Did a study that is a true statistic.
Wait a minute. What is
Whoa.
chocolate milk
1
from?
in 7.
Next thing
Wait.
you're going to tell me Santa Claus isn't real. Don't break my heart anymore
Oh.
over here, Chris. You're
Dude.
killing me. You tell me there's not a chocolate cow?
David
I
is
see a
right
brown cow.
there.
If it's a brown cow, it's got to make brown milk. White
Yeah.
cow make white milk.
Yeah.
Facts.
So that's, we know which one in the 7 is now in this group.
We have cleared it up. We now know that I may or may not be mildly retarded.
Yeah.
The moon's not made out of green cheese
Fit
either.
right-
I hate
fit
to
right in,
break your
David.
heart here there too.
It's made out of the best cheese.
How do you think I make friends with people?
There's usually roofies involved, David.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
I'm still surprised that I still drink.
AIDS being applied.
I still
Usually unwillingly.
and I'm still surprised I take drinks from strangers.
You're David, you're that guy that's just there. You're just there, and people don't acknowledge you. You're just there.
You're like a chair.
Oh, guys, how's it going?
Oh, no.
In the middle of
Blooded.
even.
No.
Oh.
What happened there? That was weird.
I don't know what happened there.
Kid Wars.
Weird stuff that we do.
Colin, tell me something. Tell me something.
All
What
right,
do
that
you
was
think about this? Give me
that
some
was
more.
the only good one you had, right?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was
you
all you
know?
had.
Was that
You
the
have
only
another
one of the week?
No.
Okay, good. Bring it on.
Okay.
How did Helen Keller's mother punish her? She put her in a circular room and said, "Go find the corner."
I get it, but
But Colin, there is no corners in the circular room.
David's like, I get it, but let's explain it for people at home that don't get it.
The ones that we were talking about.
Absolutely
Like,
get it, though. I absolutely get it, but just for the other people.
No,
that,
David came at us with the whole, I get it, but I just want to make sure you get it. So explain it.
What happened there? Chris was
Damn, dude.
God.
Golly.
pettiness. I love you guys.
Sometimes.
Bell and Bell chiming in.
There.
She called you an NPC.
I believe it. I have shitty loot.
Oh man, yeah, but you would drop common loot. You wouldn't even drop the good stuff.
No, that's what I was saying.
No, you drop like a few coins, maybe. Yeah.
Not even. It'd be
No. He's that monster that drops the most useless, like unvaluable stuff, you know.
He's that NPC in Oblivion, right? Where he sends you on that quest to go rescue his son from the cult, and then shows up at the last minute right after you have to kill the son because he turned into a zombie.
We're talking about Hunting Biden and Joe Biden. Is that what we're going on? We're going back to Biden's?
David is one that gives out escort quests.
That's kind of
Dave,
dude. You need to back up. Dude. That was kind of harsh.
that was
really harsh.
That was
David's the geckos fought in Vegas.
Oh, ow.
Oh,
whoo, common loot. Oh my god.
common loot. Good
I see.
common loot. It's like
I see you have Maria in the watching today.
Yeah,
She is.
Maria has graced us with her presence this week. That's actually
I'm so surprised that she hasn't brought up the vote last week. I don't think she watched last week's episode.
Oh no, I called her. What's sad is I called her and I forgot to tell her about it.
So do we world premiere that news right now?
Yeah, we need to put it on the website too. That we're gonna have like
annual Superfan elections. Yeah. Okay.
Annual.
All right, so Maria, here's what we've decided, right? Okay, because you were MIA and none of us could seemingly get a hold of you. We opened the forum for debate as to whether or not we were going to have annual superfan contests, right? And we decided on an annual, I don't know, call it an essay contest, if you will. You have to submit in writing to the Angry Meat Production email account your best pitch as to why you deserve to be this year's super fan. And it's not that the title was taken away from you. You hit the first term limit. So we decided unanimously as a show to bestow for the next year the title of superfan to Bell. And yeah, that happened. So why do I feel like we're
I feel like we're in trouble now.
I'm waiting for like an essay to pop up into
I'm
the
waiting
comments.
for the paragraph to pop up.
Well, if Bell has been nominated as the Superfan of the Year, I think that this deserves some sort of celebration.
well, it How was that, David?
Wait.
It didn't even work.
My God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm. Calm down. No.
You like that?
Yeah.
16-year-old girl with Down syndrome who was taken from her mother and put in a cage. I read about.
I still can't believe
Did
that.
you just say want to a 10-year-old?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh man.
David, you've got to You've got to redo those sounds, bro, because oh my God, I don't know why. Maybe it's because you've got the same soundboard, right?
No, mine's bigger.
Yeah,
Not a contest, David.
it's never a contest. And don't send pictures.
Length always does not translate to girth, my guy. So I'm just kind of putting that out there, dude.
No, I got the stuff all the way up. I don't know why.
I mean, you're a baguette in a soup can world, son. I'm just kind of putting that out there.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Sure, that's the one that you can hear. Wow.
No, I think it. No, I think what it is we were overlapping on our stuff. Because okay,
Are you talking about crossing soundboards?
No, crossing.
Oh.
Okay, if like Chris talks, then I talk, and we're talking at the same time. Whoever talked first is gonna have more of a volume than the other. That's the reason why I try to switch off and everything. And when I'm listening to people talk, if I hear a small thing happening that someone wanted to say, I was like, I'm always going, "Oh, what did you say, Max? Or what did you say, Chris? Or what do you say, Colin?" Even though he's irrelevant. So, anyways,
Speaking of, did you hear when you were watching the what?
Irrelevant. What did say it now?
What?
I'm surprised I got it the first time.
You didn't. That's just my point of asking.
Close to it the first time.
Anyways, also, Colin, to talk about that, do you guys really low when I'm listening to you all guys up at work? And the reason why I keep mine up so high is think about it this way: a lot of people that are listening to us on long drives and everything, they're driving diesel trucks.
Yep.
They have to have their volume up really high just to listen to us. So that's the reason why I had everybody. It sounds like I'm screaming, and yes, I know I do the edits and I see how big my pitches are.
You're just an excitable boy.
Yes, I am very excitable boy, but it's because a lot of people that are on the road and like they're working factories, they have hearing protection in, they can barely hear us. Yes, it does sound like we're screaming when you're in a regular vehicle and everything is almost soundproof in whatever vehicle that you're having, and you can turn it down a little bit lower. But
why did I suddenly have Rodney Carrington's song "Gay Factory Worker from the South" pop up in my head?
Yeah, I'll take
okay.
Maybe
did that happen for you too?
6 times a day.
Whoa.
On every day that ends in a Y.
Yeah.
This is the reason why I have my own shows. Hold on. Damn it.
What happened? Are we haunted?
No.
Okay.
Just to clarify, I do have more jokes.
Okay, Colin, please go for it. Yeah.
We are still in your segment after all.
Yes. Maria's me, and I hold on. Go.
I love it. Hold on.
That's one yet.
Because David muted himself.
Anyways.
Oh, God.
Life is the dumbest crap. So a reverse exorcism is when the demon is saying to the priest, "Get out of the child."
Oh no. Oh.
That's spicy. Oh my God.
Oh. There's a Catholic out there crying right now because of what you just said.
You know,
There's
it's
probably a
hilarious.
whole church right now just tearing up the. I can't believe he said that.
You know what's funny is I was raised Catholic.
Colin, I
That
love what
Rabbit
you got,
and
boy. That's
Charlie was
good.
not that big of a deal for you.
Yeah.
I
Is
got
it-
one more.
At moments that you found out they're diddling other boys and everything, and you weren't touched because you were the ugly one of the group.
No, it's because I grew up in a town of 500 people. We didn't have a full-time priest, and we didn't have altar boys. So
And on top of that, David, we have it in certifiable printed proof on our website that this beautiful bastard is the rug that ties the whole room together.
it is. It's on the internet, so it has to be the truth.
Has to be truth. I mean,
Got
his
it.
job title is eye candy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
What's your job, David?
Producer, making stuff and everything, and yeah.
No.
So I'm not. So what I'm hearing is not good looking.
Speaking of,
No, not good looking. At no point in time did I say good looking.
I'm just saying he doesn't have eye candy in his profile description.
Absolutely.
His it says this guy is an Air Force vet. He's our founder and producer. He's a little funny, and sometimes he leaves the room with everyone scratching their heads. All in all, he's good people and one that can be trusted. But that's your call, really. David Dickerman, founder and producer. Very vanilla. A lot like his sex life.
Yep.
It's only not vanilla when I have a mirror.
Does that count as cheating on yourself?
It is because even when he's with himself, he has to imagine other people.
And just a quick sports update for anybody watching NBA out there. The Boston Celtics have now beaten the shit out of the Miami Heat again with one more game to go.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and Bell brings up a really valid question. David, why is your picture that you submitted for the website the only one that's blurry?
It is.
It is.
He's kind of
I had
blurry in
two
real life.
more jokes.
I don't
So
take
I'm
pictures.
going to need you to redo your picture and send me one that's in focus.
Yeah, that's fine. I ended up I don't take pictures of myself, so.
Oh, I mean, I've got one that Maria sent me. I could
we can
use that
absolutely
one.
use that one.
Oh yeah, it is blurry.
Oh yeah. I was gonna ask you about that one. Use that one. Fuck it. I don't care.
Okay. All right. There will be an update to the website soon.
You heard it
Dad, I
here.
have a question. Did you take the picture after I sent you mine or before?
You talking to David?
No, you.
No, you.
That my picture? I took that before you sent me yours.
Cool. I was wondering because we're doing the same hand sign.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know, plus the whole related thing.
Yeah, great minds think alike. Anyways, I got two more jokes. So
Okay. Go ahead.
what is the difference between a tennis player and a priest? A tennis player plays with hairy balls.
That is. My God.
Damn it.
Wow.
That one.
Damn.
There's some Catholic kid right now going, fucking Colin's right. Why
He's
is he
rocking
going
back and
right?
forth, tugging on his ears, sucking his thumb in the fetal position in a dark corner.
Just
We got-
traumatized.
We got our first. We got our
Got
first.
crucifix and rosary beads out all over the place, burning sage and shit.
We get our first message from off our website. You made me come out against my preacher.
You know, I don't think we need to be using the words "come out" when we're talking about.
Thank you. I didn't want to be. I was thinking it. I didn't want to be the one to say it.
Oh shit!
No, can't tell me what to do. All right, where's the next
Depends
one?
on how you spell it. Oh man! All right, one more. What you got for us, Colin?
Hold on, I need to make sure this is a green flagged.
We've
So
gone.
I don't know. I don't know if it's like rules and.
Ooh, are we waiting for the nod?
Yes, no, it's okay. Yeah, go for it. Yeah,
Okay.
you are cleared hot. Go for it.
I like working with charities for the underprivileged.
How underprivileged are we talking about? I want to know the qualifications. That way we can spread it around if we can get more people in here.
Whoa. I get that reference.
Oh.
Silence, huh? No. No awkward silence here. I like
See, it hurts to laugh because I had like a container full of mashed potatoes and fried chicken tonight. Ugh.
Got your bucket of the Colonel's 12-piece down, did you?
No, my grandma made me food to take home, and I ate all of it tonight that I didn't eat last night, and it was a container full of mashed potatoes and fried chicken
Oh, that's not bad.
with gravy, of course.
Sounds fucking delicious.
I know, right? Fucking making me hungry.
Man, I stopped doing like fried stuff and everything because I guess I decided to get on a diet just like Johnny did. And I've been craving freaking Kentucky Fried Chicken. I don't like the Kentucky Fried Chicken that's from here because we only have like one place in town. And
And you know what really buns me out is like I really wish our Popeyes was good.
It's not that bad. Depending on what time frame you go get it.
But like compared to what it could be.
No,
you're
compared to what Popeyes used to be.
Yeah.
In general, nationwide, Popeyes has kind of
it's dropped off.
Yeah.
They had a thing with they had the thing with the chicken sandwich, and they got it a little bit over their head, and they forgot how to do the actual chicken part.
They had people dying over the chicken sandwich. People for it.
Bush's is still better.
I think he did.
Okay, thank you. I'm not the only one that heard that. I don't want to repeat it because it's it's one of the no words, but I think David just said it.
Yeah,
no words.
He said it.
But I think David was clever, unwittingly clever, in the way he disguised it.
I believe he snuck one by us.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
You gotta.
We'll tell you after the show so we don't get flagged.
Yeah, it's definitely one that will get us a strike.
That was very sneaky Russian of you. I like it.
Yeah, snuck one past.
By
me.
He went about that in a very orthodox manner.
I have to go back and find out. Jesus. Y'all are just gaslighting me. I swear.
Oh,
money.
Everybody's going to go back to that hour and 33-minute mark and be like, what did he say? What did he say? What did he say? I gotta hear it.
If you got, I'm just saying, if you go back and watch the video, you will see me react when he says it.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It's okay. It's all good.
Was that last one?
He has no clue which one I'm talking about.
Which is even better.
You have no idea what I'm talking about, which makes this even better.
Yeah. He's like the village idiot that you tell to go piss in a corner of a circular room. Yeah.
Is this going back to pissing on Yankee Stadium?
He just
I got one more.
Oh, Colin's got one more. Wow.
Man,
We got a 6-pack tonight.
I'm saying
Bring the fire.
Have you ever seen a picture of Helen Keller's father? Yeah, neither has she.
God.
Oh shit. Oh man. You killing it, man. You love blind people. Blind people and you guys are
Oh my god.
down here from where I'm at, down here in Kansas City, there's a blind and a deaf school.
Oh,
They would love you. I'm gonna put you with them. They won't be able to hear you.
One of the reasons I tell these Helen Keller jokes, because Chris always laughs the hardest at my Helen Keller jokes, and
he found the formula. It's like in the office with what's his name and the meatballs, Stanley and the meatballs. It's like Helen Keller is my meatball.
That is it. Helen Keller is the kryptonite that makes Chris go crazy.
There's a bumper sticker for you right there. Helen Keller is my meatball.
Helen Keller bust.
There you go.
Biden Keller 24.
Are we gonna go ahead and do his outro and then land this plane?
Yeah. Well, I've still got to cover NASCAR. So,
Oh yeah. I got one thing on NASCAR too.
I'll probably I might head out early because I got a start test tomorrow. So
Yeah. So let me do your outro real quick. And just like that, he's gone without regard or care for your moral well-being. You, unfortunately, have been witness to yet another traumatic episode of this guy's genetic code assaulting your soul without consent. It's so violent. I just don't know what to do. But, ladies, gentlemen, again, angry faithful of all ages, this was joke time with Colin.
never gets old.
Never gets old.
It was beautiful. There's a tear.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see it right here. But
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for the Arnold one.
the Chapo?
No.
Oh my God, Dad, I'm gonna
What?
send you. I'm gonna send you the thing I use for Stephen Hawking, and you gotta. Even if it's just for one show, we need my intro in Stephen Hawking's voice.
Okay. All right. I'm still trying to figure out the whole Morgan Freeman voice, but yeah, we can do some Stephen Hawking. Yeah.
Okay.
Probably do an 8.
All right. You dipping out, Colin?
Yeah, I got my algebra start test tomorrow.
All right, Kai.
So
Well, I love you.
right.
You killed it tonight. Give brother a hug for me. I will talk to you guys later.
Later,
All
Colin.
right.
Colin.
There
You
you
got a
go.
good kid, Johnny. Good kid.
That kid right there understands the assignment
Every time.
I mean, to the point where I've had to, as an infantryman and having grown up as a sailor's kid, have had to counsel him on what jokes to tell and what jokes not to tell to keep us from getting banned on YouTube. I'm like,
yeah, he used to have to get them pre-screened.
yeah, he used to have to send me his jokes to pre-screen them. I'm just like, oh,
ones that failed, he would tell us after after the camera was off.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa, boy,
the algorithm.
It's oh my god, yeah. Anyway, so God. So the NASCAR was at Dover this weekend, taking on the Monster Mile. Martin Truex's brother repeated this year, back-to-back win. He defended his race, he defended his race win from last year on this very weekend. by winning the Xfinity race. And the driver at everybody just absolutely loves to hate, Denny Hamlin, managed to get a good restart on the last couple of restarts there in the late stages of the race to win the Worth 400. He picked up another Miles the Monster statue, so fucking good for him. Kyle Larson kind of he made Denny earn it though. Kyle Larson actually started way back in the field. He had a hot rod though. He made his way up to the front of the field, led quite a few laps on yesterday's race. Ended up finishing second. Martin Truex Jr. finished third. Kyle Busch came home with a respectable fourth place finish. Chase Elliott rounds out the top five. Noah Gragson in the number 10 Ford for Stewart Haas Racing came home sixth. So that's a career best at Dover for him. Yeah. He's starting to put it together, and I would not be a bit surprised if we don't see Noah in victory lane before the end of the season. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to that, and I would love it if Noah was actually the person that put Ford in victory lane for the first time in the Cup Series this year. I would not mind that at all.
Well, Brad Kalitsky and Bubba Wallace fell out of NASCAR's Cup playoff spot after Dover.
David, I'm going to educate you. It's pronounced Keselowski.
We already established I'm fully retarded.
Slightly?
Dude, we're only like 10 or 11 races into the season. So the closer we get to Richmond, then we can start talking about falling out of contention for the playoffs, because we haven't even
the new stuff then.
Dude, I saw an article that said, is it possible Kyle Larson can miss the All-Star race? And I'm like, I know that's a clickbait type title.
Yeah. Okay.
But the only reason why that article was titled the way that it was, and it could have been titled a whole lot differently, like Kyle Larson has named Kevin Harvick as his backup for the All-Star race because Kyle Larson's schedule has started to conflict because of his responsibilities for his Indy 500 entry.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to, it's possible that the Indy 500 race and prep for that race, practice and qualifying, things like that, is going to conflict with the All-Star weekend. So that's the only reason why Kyle Larson might not be in the 5 car for All-Star weekend at North Wilkesboro. Kevin Harvick's going to step in. He's going to fill that role. Kevin Harvick is one of those old school racers that, would run at those old tracks like Rockingham, North Wilkesboro, places like that. Do I have any doubt that you put Kevin Harvick in any kind of machine that he wouldn't be capable of putting himself or that car into victory lane? Absolutely not. I've got no doubt at all. He's just that good. We all saw what Kyle Larson did to the field last year at the All-Star race in the number 5 car. He basically put almost the entire field a lap down. So, but picking up in 7th place was Ryan Blaney in the number 12 Penske Ford. We got Alex Bowman bringing home the 3rd top 10 finish for the weekend for Hendrick Motorsports in the 48 Camaro. We've got Daniel Hemrick in the 31 Camaro. He had a relatively respectable day. Daniel Hemrick is he's one of those racers that you don't really hear a lot about. He runs for Colleague Racing. They perform respectably enough to where they can field more than just a few races a year. I think this is actually a full-time ride for him. But he had a really, his average finish is 22nd. So, the fact that he was able to bring that car home 9th yesterday at Dover, that says a lot for that program, says a lot for that driver, says a lot for his pit crew, making decent pit stops at the right times. track position was king at this race yesterday. So Ty Gibbs brought it home 10th. He rounded out the top 10. Tyler Reddick, which was last weekend's winner at Talladega, he came home 11th. Ross Chastain 12th. AJ Allmendinger 13th. Josh Berry, who's driving the number 4 car for Stewart Haas Racing this year, he came home 14th. Ostrich Cendric, Joey Logano, Chris Buescher, Daniel Suarez, Chase Briscoe, and John Hunter Nemechek round out the top 20. Let me see here. Austin Dillon, he did not have a good day. He finished 27th. Jimmy Johnson finished in 28th. He finished several laps down. The thing about Jimmy Johnson, you take any kind of time out of the car, you go drive something else, or even just taking time out of the car, period. And then you jump back into it, even on a part-time schedule, you're not going to be as competitive as you once were. Now, Jimmy Johnson, he is, 7-time champion, tied with Dale Earnhardt Sr. and Richard Petty for the most Cup championships in the Cup Series. But, it would be nice to see him perform well at a track. And you would think that Dover, a place where he has won multiple times, he has been very dominant at that track, that would be the one place that he would okay, I remember how to get around. But with the way that this this next gen car drives, it doesn't drive quite the same way. Where the old cars, if I remember correctly, they were real dependent and heavy on the right rear tire, whereas this car is real heavy on the right front, and it just drives differently as it dives down into the turn. The balance on the car needs to be set up a little bit differently. You have to approach your corners a whole different way. And as soon as Jimmy Johnson's able to get that figured out, we might start seeing him finish on the lead lap some of these races, which, it's one of those situations where you're like, okay, I understand that he's got to field a car because he's got sponsor commitments and things of that nature. But at what point does Jimmy Johnson say, you know what, I can't race these cars. I can't be competitive the way that I want anymore, or the way that I feel that I need to be. I'm just going to put on my owner hat full time and then just kind of step off and just kind of hang out with Richard Petty at the offices there in North Carolina.
At what point in time when they actually do that, they switch? I mean, what kind of time frame are you looking at when they want to switch over from the driver over to owner and everything?
Drivers getting out of the car, period. They'll tell you that if you ask them when they're planning on retiring, they'll tell you that they don't know. They know to a T almost. Every one of them say that, the competitive fire never really leaves. It's just that they get in the car one day and they realize, I don't want to do this anymore.
Okay.
And it just kind of hits them, and then they have to make that decision. They either announce it at the beginning of the next season, or, because of contractual obligations, whether it be with their race teams or sponsors, what have you, or they announce that, hey, my contract's up at the end of the year. When it is, I'm stepping out of the car, and I'm retiring, calling it a career. And a lot of these race drivers now, they've got kids that drive, like the quarter midgets, the Legends cars, things like that. And, so like Kyle Busch, he said that he will retire from Cup when Braxton, his oldest, or his son, turned 16. And then he's going to go down to truck. He's going to run trucks for 1 full year. And or he said he's going to retire when Braxton turns 15. He's going to go down to the truck series for 1 full year to try to win a championship there. So that way he can be the only person in NASCAR history to have a championship at all 3 major levels.
Yeah, okay.
Which I don't blame him at all, because across all 3 major touring series, he's got the most victories all time. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but he said he just wants to be able to see if he can do that, win a Craftsman Truck Championship. And then the following year, whenever Braxton turns 16, he's going to let Braxton run the trucks part-time on the smaller tracks. Kyle's going to run the larger tracks. And then and they're going to do that for 2 years. And then whenever Braxton turns 18, because you have to be 18 to run the bigger tracks like Daytona, Talladega. You have to be 18. That's a rule. So whenever he turns 18, he's going to hand the truck over full-time to Braxton, and he's going to step out of he's going to step away from driving responsibilities full-time, and he's just going to go into being a team owner, or, maybe get a job in the booth. But Kyle Larson, I mean, he's got kids that see him race 3-4 times a week. I'm trying to think of who else has got Kevin Harvick's kid runs quarter midgets too. So I mean, it's a generational thing with some of these drivers, and it's fun to see because I mean, you look at the talent that we've been blessed enough to watch race these races over the years, and to see that genetically get passed down through the DNA is really cool. So, but yeah, to speak to David's headline there, Brad Keselowski finished 30th and Bubba Wallace finished 32nd. Bubba Wallace wrecked out of the race there towards the end. And Brad Keselowski actually did finish the race. But yeah, Bubba Wallace, William Byron, Christopher Bell, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. all retired from the race because of crash damage. Ryan Preece and Michael McDowell had things go wrong with their car. Ryan Preece retired early on after only 66 laps because there was smoke filling up his car, and they couldn't diagnose why, so they just pulled it to the garage and they retired the car. Michael McDowell
was causing the problem.
Do what? Did they ever figure it out? I'm sure they did. This morning, whenever the teams, unloaded the cars from the team hauler at the shop, and they were able to, unskin the car. But Michael McDowell had a hub go bad on him, so you kind of need a hub in order to make the wheels turn, kind of a deal. But all in all, it was. I listened to the race again on Sirius XM. I was listening to the PRM crew do their job, and and we had this discussion last week where I almost prefer listening to sports in the radio format just because it's just kind of nostalgic. It's old school feeling, and it just feels more raw. It's not as filtered and overproduced like the TV is. So I kind of think, I mean, with the exception of Martinsville, which is going to be, I believe, Darlington's in 2 weeks. Next week it's the Advent Health 400 at Kansas Speedway. That race is going to start at 2:00 Central Time. It's going to be on FS1. It's going to be an MRN race, MRN crew doing the race. So you're going to have Dave Moody calling the race from the exit of turn 2. Love listening to that guy. It's also going to be on Sirius XM or on your Sirius XM app. That's going to be another race that I'm going to listen to. I'm going to try to watch Darlington on the 12th. I'm not sure how successful I'm going to be because that is Mother's Day weekend. Yes, that has been a reminder officially to all of the guys in the room and those listening at home. May 12th, Mother's Day. I know this because I got tickets to the Houston Renegades, the UFL team here. I got tickets for that game. And then I realized today, I was like, shit, that's Mother's Day. I'm not dragging my wife to a fucking football game on Mother's Day. I'm not doing it.
Nope.
So
the gift that keeps on giving.
I'll do it.
I'm not doing it, man. I mean, as it is, I mean, and she already knows this. I mean, don't come at me with she's supposed to be surprised. I already told her I'm buying her an hour-long massage for Mother's Day. So I'm just like, okay, all right, there we go. But yeah, so it's going to be Kansas next weekend, Darlington on Mother's Day. And then they're going to go to North Wilkesboro for All-Star Weekend. So that's going to be a really exciting, next 3 weeks. So Now, as far as Kansas is going to be concerned, I know that Bubba Wallace, he runs really strong there, but it's a unique 1.5-mile type track. The Hendrick cars are going to put together a pretty good race package for those cars. They're going to unload fast. I would look for the Penske and RFK cars to really stand out. The Gibbs cars and by default the 2311 racing cars are going to be racy, but I don't look for them to be there at the end on Sunday next week. So
why is that?
That's well, just because I mean they're going to get pushed out, obviously. I mean, because with the Chevys this year, the Chevys have been running really, really strong because I mean, the notes from last year, because they're really basically running the same body style or the same body that they ran last year. Obviously, because Chevy discontinued the Camaro, which I think is a horrible decision, but whatever. I don't make those calls.
They do that all the time. They, I don't know what it is. Which I'm with you with the Chevy stuff, but they do that constantly. I mean, it's like right before the new Transformers movie, they came out with the Camaro again.
Well, yeah,
I was surprised to see the Camaro in a Transformers movie because I knew it's like, oh, that they discontinued it. What it is they usually, and this is only for the Camaro for some unknown reason. They discontinue it for a while. They redesign it to the specs they want, and then they re-put it out. They're not.
Here's where I think Chevy went wrong with the Camaro, though. Here's where I think Chevy went wrong with the Camaro. They over-designed the car. They made it too much like a junior Corvette, and they priced it out of reach for they outpriced it. I mean, there's not a the Camaro is more of the affordable midlife crisis car now.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, normally you would see guys in Crocs or white New Balances with the fucking white crew socks, denim shorts, and a fucking polo shirt buying Corvettes. Now, I mean, they're out there buying the old Camaros. And I mean, you get the top end Camaro, the ZL, what is it? The LTE1 or whatever it's whatever badges they're throwing on them now. I remember the days when it was easy. You had the SS and you had the Z28. Anyways,
old school IROC.
Right. Yeah. Or the Berlinetta. You remember that one?
Well, I got a friend of mine got a Camaro, and
but here's the thing: the top end Camaros are like $75,000 to start.
Yeah. You
spend another 30 grand, you can go get a fucking Z06 Stingray Corvette.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, when the top end Camaro is out racing the mid-range Corvette, I mean, yeah, the engine packages and everything like that, that's cool, that's great, but I mean, they're over-engineered, they're overpriced, and they priced themselves out of the muscle car game. They really did.
Yeah,
I mean,
they did. I mean, you can get like a 4-banger Mustang because you're literally just buying the Mustang name. I mean, you can work out the 4-cylinder to do like draft stuff, but that's about it. And the body,
I mean, even now, like the 5.0s, I call them the 5.0s, but it's like they're really the 4.9 liter Mustangs. I mean, that's almost like the baseline Mustang now, and I mean, like the 2025 or 2024 Mustangs, dude, they're nice, right? And this dark horse Mustang that the Ford teams are all running this year,
dude.
I mean, dude, they look mean. I kind of want one, you know, but you know, it's just I was loving it whenever we were kind of experiencing this muscle car renaissance, right? This muscle car revival. You know, before Pontiac went the way of the Dodo, they came out with that very failed attempt to recreate the GTO, and all it was basically a Sunfire with a V6 in it. You know, but
yeah, the Holden version of it, Australian version of it. Yeah,
I mean, and it's just I mean, well, it basically, right. So you remember the Cavalier, right? The
Mhm.
Chevy Cavalier. Sunfire was Pontiac's version of the Cavalier because I mean they're both GM brands. And then when they came out with the GTO, same body style as the Cavalier Sunfire, just with a bigger engine. That's
Yeah.
all. But you know, and I'm just like, and then Dodge tried to come out with the Dart, and all it was just like a compact family sedan with fuel efficiency as the name. And then the market got oversaturated with Dodge Chargers and Challengers, and then when Dodge said that they were going to get out of the muscle car game and their last hurrah, it was more like a what the fuck was an electric, an EV Challenger with simulated exhaust noise. When they debuted that thing at Barrett Jackson, I was like,
sad.
it was sad. Like, you know, you had these dudes that were like, they were going to drop some serious coinage on this car once it hit the auction floor. But when they turned on that simulated exhaust sound, you saw guys like their head, their eyes, their jaws all hit the floor and they were shaking their heads. They were just like, that's just no. Like
there's no replacement for displacement.
Exactly.
The internal combustion engine, the ICE engine, whatever people want to refer to it as, it's not going anywhere. Anybody that thinks that they're ready for an electronic car and that this country or any country for that can support it, we can't. We don't have the infrastructure for it. There's not enough charging stations.
Just wait till you have to replace the battery and you have to basically buy a whole new car.
We don't even have the electrical capacity right now to handle.
No, we would tear down the grid. It's the most asinine, backwards thinking ever. And then we have to go back to the beginning of the 20th century to where we were electric already, electric trolleys, electric everything. We got rid of all that because of fossil fuels. You know, the oil industry. It's not going anywhere. There's too much money to be made and too much money not to be lost. So
You really just want to hop in a time machine, throw Thomas Edison in jail, and let Nikola Tesla live.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
you know, so and I've seen the Cybertruck in person. My wife got to see her first in-person Cybertruck yesterday.
Isn't it sad?
She was like, she goes, that doesn't look real. Like that looks like a cartoon truck. And I'm like, right? No, it looks like a truck that every third grader in America has ever drawn for arts and crafts.
Yes, that is what is a 5-year-old draws when you are trying to draw a car. That's
a lot of companies right now, they're getting rid of their EVs.
Yeah, Ford said that they took a 25% loss on every EV they have ever sold.
Yeah.
You know, which is why whenever they came out, like, was it last month, they announced like this huge sale on the Mustang Mach-E, and I was just like, nope, not even if they gave me one. No, absolutely not. One, a Mustang is not supposed to have 4 doors, and 2, a Mustang is supposed to make noise when you start it up. You know,
it's supposed to make you pee a little bit when it turns on.
There's a guy on 288
Mustang too.
Between here and Pearland. He has got a rusting out white 67 Mustang sitting out in the middle of his field, just plain as day.
And he won't give rid of it for the life of him. It took me like an arm and a leg talking to that guy to get my 67 Chevelle.
If
rusted, it was out in the front yard. I spent probably around about $2,000 for.
If I had $5,000 sitting around with nothing else better to do, I'd throw a flatbed trailer on the back of a truck, drive up to that dude's trailer, and be like, "Hey," and yes, I said trailer. I'd drive up to his double wide, and I'd be like, "Hey, dude, here's 5 bands right there. I want that Mustang."
Yep.
Don't run. Don't give a shit. I'm giving you $5,000 for the body and the frame.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you can. Oh man, the stuff that you can do now, it's just like gun building now.
Yeah,
cars.
It is. But I would cheat a little bit. I would cheat a little bit if I bought a Mustang like that. I would cheat. I would drive it out to California myself, and I'd find Chip Foose and I'd hand it over to him and be like, "Build this."
Yeah.
You know? Build it, and then I will drive back out here and I will stick it back on a damn trailer. I'll put it in an enclosed car trailer and haul it back to Texas. Just to keep the miles down on it. But
right.
I don't want nothing big and obnoxious. You can put a small block V8 in there. I do not care. Or even put a Boss engine in there. The largest I think I would go is maybe a Coyote, but past that, not really. Like, because I've said it on the show before, my dream car though is a '77 Chevelle SS with a 454 under the hood.
Big block.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the kind of car where you start it, you immediately have to go to a gas station.
Yeah, you would hate
I want that time so retarded where you sit at the stoplight and you just sit there and go. I want that.
Like, what's wrong with your car?
Put it neutral and kind of goose the gas a little bit, and you see the whole body go. Yeah, dude.
You would hate me back in the day. That was my car. It was a '67 Chevelle SS.
Well, I said 77, but yeah, no, I get what you're saying. You know what you're putting down, yeah. 77.
Dude, I had so many people pissed off at me because I retrofitted it, and this is before it was popular. Now it's popular. I put new brakes in, disc brake.
You got to put in drilled quadded rotors. I mean, you got to put the ceramic brakes in.
Well, I put new brakes. I put power steering in it. I put a fuel injection in it. I think it was the big modern stuff I put into it.
The fuel injection would be the only thing that I would have heartburn with, because cars like that, if you're not having to climb under the hood at least twice a month to adjust that carburetor, you're doing something wrong.
I don't like cold starting and the cold and everything like that, and fuel injection.
Well, here's why. Here's the way to fix that. You don't drive it in the cold. That is a summertime taking the lady out on the town car.
No,
better be in a garage during the winter.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, no, that bitch will never see a flake of snow on her paint. Period. Nope.
Nary a raindrop.
No, not even
anyway.
I guess she will not go to a car wash. I will wash her at home, and I will take a heavy duty industrial strength leaf blower to blow the water out of the gutter in front of my driveway so I don't splash it up on the tires.
Here's an even better question. Would you be wearing like a woman's bikini when you do it, just so you could feel a little bit sexy on doing it?
Mm-mm.
No, European banana hammock
shorts and a fucking yeah. There you go. I'd get one of those European Speedo suits, where it's the banana hammock with the suspenders, Yeah.
Like Borat.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, absolutely.
A little testicle hangout,
The boys front and back.
You just gotta breathe too,
Yeah. A little risque.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't and the reason why I think Noah Gragson, you see how I came back around and I remembered where we parked. The reason why I think Noah Gragson, he's probably gonna be the guy that pushes Ford into victory lane first before the other Ford teams, is because Stewart Haas Racing, I mean, dude, they went completely young. They did exactly what Hendrick Motorsports did. I mean, when you had the dream team racing at Hendrick, you had Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Casey Kane, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. I mean, you had the stable of stables there, right? And then you had when Kevin Harvick went from RCR to Stewart Haas, he brought a championship there, and Tony Stewart obviously was racing for his own team. So I mean, there was 2 championships under that banner alone. But I think Noah he's got it figured out now. But where before, I think maybe he was brought up maybe a year too soon, filled in a seat a year too early, just because he needed that extra year of maturity back down in the Xfinity race or series. But he's got it figured out, especially after that dust up with being suspended by NASCAR for liking the wrong meme on Instagram.
which is ridiculous.
Yeah. To put it into context for you, it was a George Floyd meme, and he liked it, and somebody screenshotted the fact that he liked it, and it made the rounds, and NASCAR was like, "Ooh, no, 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 you can't do that." And so they suspended him indefinitely. He went to sensitivity training, he applied for reinstatement after the end of that particular season, and he was reinstated. Stewart Haas Racing picked him up, put him in the 10 car, and he's been producing for him. So he's got the drive, he's got the knowledge, and he's finally got what I view as the maturity enough to bring that car, that Ford Dark Horse Mustang, to victory lane. And I think if he doesn't do it next week, I'm looking ahead on the schedule after All-Star Weekend is, let me see here. It's not going to be Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's not going to be for the Coke 600, not Memorial Day weekend. It's a 1.5 mile track. That's going to be a dogfight between the Toyota and Chevy teams, especially for the 600 miles. I mean, that is the longest race in the world all year long. Okay. As far as mileage is concerned. I mean, they don't even run 600 miles when you're talking about Le Mans. So, but I think the place where he's going to really kind of come into his own is going to be either when they go to Madison, Illinois for the Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 2nd, or Pocono on July 14th. I think Ford's going to crack victory lane at one of those two racetracks, and I really think that Noah Gragson's going to be the guy to do it, because his race team's finally going to put it together. They're going to figure out that off schedule pit strategy to get him the track position that he needs, and he's going to put it into victory lane. He's going to put himself into the playoffs that way, and then walk out, because as soon as that one Ford team cracks victory lane, you're going to see blue ovals occupying the second half of the season.
As far as racing goes, Johnny, and I think I read something maybe a week ago in regards to Michael Jordan and his team making it to victory lane.
Yeah, that's a Toyota team, 2311 Racing. Michael Jordan owns that team with Denny Hamlin. They won last week at Talladega with Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick really stole that race too. Ford would have won that race, but Michael McDowell kind of ran out of talent. And I say that Michael McDowell is a very talented, gifted racer, but he outmaneuvered himself trying to block Brad Keselowski, and really cheated himself, cheated Brad Keselowski, and ultimately cheated Ford out of the first victory of the year at Talladega. Tyler Reddick was sitting just far enough back off of Keselowski's bumper where he swung out and missed everything and kept his speed up and stole the race. I mean, literally, he stole that race. But as a matter of fact, what was it? It was for that particular race, if I remember correctly, yeah, Brad Keselowski actually finished second. Noah Gragson came home third in that race. And the reason why everybody's looking at Brad is like, well, he came home second, so that should have been, the good thing. And I know we're going to land the plane here in just a second, guys, but Brad Keselowski's always been very aggressive. He has 6 wins at Talladega. Over his Cup career, he's won at Talladega 6 different times. I think he's leading all active drivers with total wins at that track. So I mean, he knows how to get around Talladega. He knows when to make the right moves. He knows which lines are coming. I mean, he knows how to drive that car at Talladega. So seeing him contend for the win and finish in the top 3 at Talladega is really kind of one of those safe bets, and it's not surprising at all. So, but yeah, I mean, and that further cements Michael Jordan's argument for being the GOAT over LeBron James, because not only does Michael Jordan have 6 NBA championships to his credit, he also has a NASCAR victory. He was able to host another trophy, which is more I can say for LeBron James this year. So,
absolutely.
No, they get the season, play-in tournament champions. Nobody gives a fuck about that, dude.
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
seriously.
That's like a participation trophy.
It's exactly what it is. It's like, okay, this is the trophy that says that you had to play your way in because you weren't good enough to cement yourself as a higher ranked seed. That's all that was saying. But, yeah, and let me see here. Oh, ooh, ouch. Ugh, God. I cannot stand the Florida Panthers. They finished off the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight, 4-1 by beating Tampa Bay 6-1. Right now, it's the first intermission. Dallas and Vegas, Las Vegas Golden Knights are tied at 1 goal apiece. The game I'm looking forward to tomorrow is going to be Game 5 at TD Garden in Boston, where the Bruins are going to put away the Maple Leafs. God, if you lose to the Maple Leafs in the playoffs, you just need to fold as an organization and sell your charter to somebody else and relocate to a different city. All I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Nobody wants to lose to Command. Nobody wants to lose.
Nobody wants to lose to the Habs because the Habs, I mean, I'm telling you, the Maple Leaf fan base is almost as pathetic as the Winnipeg Jet fan base. Except the Winnipeg Jets, whenever they have some success and they make it into the playoffs like they did this year, they've got reason to be excited and act like a jackass because they've never been there before. Whereas the Maple Leafs fans, not so much. They're just good enough to be annoying during the regular season. And then when they get to the playoffs and then they lose and they burn their whole city down, you understand why Toronto is the Philadelphia of Canada. Anyways. I think we should go ahead and land the plane, guys.
Yeah.
Man, it was a pleasure having you on tonight, dude. You are more than welcome to come back on.
Absolutely.
Talk football anytime. Absolutely. But we kind of hijacked your segment, honestly, by getting off into the weeds.
We're notorious. That's kind of our demo.
Yeah, I mean, but if you look at across like all the other professionally polished shows, they're just as bad as we are. They just have an army of producers in their ear going, "Hey, we need to get back on track," and it's you don't hear the producers because they've got the good soundboards.
See, and our producer is right there leading us down the rabbit hole away from where we're supposed to be. So
I honestly think it was a great show, guys.
Let's be more accurate. It's not that he's and be fair to David. It's not that he's leading us. It's just that we're having to chase him down because
we're chasing him.
He's following the trail of candy that's being, through the dark forest that's leading to some abandoned house, and for some reason the oven's on. I don't know why.
Ooh, piece of candy.
The way I like to put it is whenever I get excited on doing something and everything, I just jet out and everybody's standing there going, he does know he's on fire, right?
No, it's usually because the pedo that's trying to lure you into the van wore the right pheromones that day, David. That's all that it is.
Free puppies. I see that sign. I can't stop.
For me, it's free ammo.
Right. I'm not a fool, though. I need to see the ammo first, and then I'll get in the van.
They show you like one bullet, and you're like, I'm in.
Where there's one, there's
ammo, and when you open up that side door and I smell the cordite, you have.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you had me at lock. So
I'm saying if these cologne companies could actually get off their ass and make a cordite smelling fucking cologne, they'd be billionaires.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we know that Yankee Candle Company is never going to make one of those, but no. For our listening audience, especially my daughter, I know that some of these like artsy fartsy hippie people that are into making their own scented candles. We need cordite smell. We need that just freshly fired freedom smell.
We need enough so we can put them all across the border as well. Just the smell of fear, ammo in the air.
Right. Yes. I mean,
those little air freshener spritzer things to solve.
Yeah, like shit, it smells like death. We need to fuck out of here.
we need Yeah, I mean, we could open up Bath and Body Works to a whole new demographic if they could come out with an ammo scented spray.
Right?
So yeah, I'd be like, hey,
I'm
It's
curious.
like, do away
My
with the
wife-
patchouli.
my wife.
Freaking
No, no. To put this into some context, my wife and my sister-in-law, Chris, you've seen my Harry Potter closet, right? The one that goes underneath my stairs.
Oh,
That's the best. It's the best smelling room in the house because it is full of Bath and Body Works candles.
yeah.
Every time there's a candle sale,
Bro, I'm
it's,
guilty
it's like
myself.
it's like boom, 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 boom. The radar goes off. Yeah, it's
I am absolutely guilty.
yeah. You know? Oh, I
This is
just now
even-
clicked on the private chat and I was like, oh, wait. Oh, David knows now. Wait, ammo can soy wax candle. See,
There we go.
no,
Somebody's
No, it's
genius.
not.
It doesn't
scented. It's the
smell
only
like
thing.
scented. It's not scented. They
Yeah,
just
it's
put
$100 too.
yeah, no. I mean, just the 3 wick just jar.
Right.
That's all we need, or even just 1 wick. I don't care.
Or about a
Somebody-
jar that's actually an empty shell case, huh?
No, because brass gets really hot. I mean, it's
Yeah.
kinky. I like to get things sometimes. Hot brass does not feel good.
No, especially when it's dropping down your collar.
Wow, or down the back of your shirt, and you're like, "There's nothing you can fucking do about it." Like,
Yep.
Nope. Yeah.
Oh God.
All right. Well, we have officially hit the 2-hour and 22-minute mark, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna land this plane a little bit. And
Brian, spit on me.
my name, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is Johnny Skelton.
I'm David Dickerman.
I am Chris Jacka.
I'm Max, known as White Kong.
You have been privy. You have been indentured. I would dare say traumatized and forced, but you've been witness to the gloriousness of Nerd Sports episode 158. We'll see you back here, same bat time, same bat channel next Monday.